Welcome, Virgo Libra, to your Astrodice reading for March. Hope you guys are doing great out there. Let's get straight in here and see what's going on with you. For those of you who are new, this is where I take astrology with tarot, make a small horoscope for the month, focused on only one of the 12 houses. So, best house coming out for the beautiful Virgo Libra. If you guys are, I just want to make this an FYI, if you guys are manifesting on that lunar eclipse, the lunar eclipse portal doesn't close until the 10th. It goes on for a whole week, okay? Just so you guys know that. Because we're a little bit different than the full moon. You know, full moon's only open 2 days, then it's open wide, and then 2 days afterwards. But this is not how that works, okay? Remember, eclipses are different, okay? Much longer time. And then, of course, the energy will run for 6 months until the next lunar eclipse. Okay, I just want to make that noticeable. Somebody said something to me, so I want to make sure that I get that out. They thought they missed their chance this morning because it was done. And I was like, no, no, no. Okay, guys, let's get in here and get this done for you. Pluto. And if you guys do need help on that, you can find the information in the second channel, which is in the description area, okay, Relaxing Whispers. There is a blood moon lunar eclipse meditation to help reset that karma, okay? So we got Pluto to Taurus to the second house. Let's move. Let's keep moving. Moving. Pluto coming out. That Pluto energy, you definitely are having some kind of transformation to take some big leap forward and rebirth. Great time for it. And you know, that full moon was in Virgo. So, I mean, you guys are directly affected by that. So, yeah, let it work for your advantage. Going straight to that Taurus energy. The energy around you shows the abundance of nature, rich, earthly, productive. Talking about that money, honey, stability and possessions, your self-worth. Slow and steady wins the race. Second house, your assets, finances, the things that you value, your income, resources, what you own. Okay. So this month is really about knowing your worth or forced to become it. I almost feel like a force to be recognized and dealt with in some ways when it comes to this. So this is, there is no real neutral, guys, zone when it comes to Pluto. It just is, right? So it's calling you out to financially restructure, right? Could be a power struggle over money. Realizing that they've undervalued themselves around you, where you want the potentials of value. It's not only me wanting the value, I want you to value yourself as well, right? Somehow or another, there's rebuilding this income, but it's shifting to what you believe is the safe zone, right? I like it. So let's get into the situation. Yeah, shifting. I like it. But you're going to be very relaxed about it. That's what I'm loving about this the most. Going straight to the situation, taking place at the beginning of the month, middle of the month, end of the month. You have the sun coming out. You couldn't even. Straight from under the Pluto, you have this beautiful rebirth. From the rebirth to a card of rebirth. You're definitely taking on a rebirth. Queen of Cups, something was not very good there. Two, that you're stabilizing your income. There it is. King of Coins, there you are, coming out. There's definitely some emotional clarity that's coming around your value. The truth is definitely being exposed with the sun, and I do feel like this full moon, lunar eclipse, has shown you the truth or is getting ready to expose what has been hidden. Yeah. And then it's resetting the tone as it's shifting you and bringing you into a rebirth. It's changing everything around you. You might have felt like you were emotionally overgiving to a situation, because there's definitely some imbalance here. You might even be dealing with someone who's been oversensitive or suppressing their feelings. Could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio. Doesn't have to be. And you could be feeling like I was emotionally investing more than I should have been. Maybe you're helping them out with a car payment, and then they've been kind of suppressing their feelings. Maybe they haven't told you thank you. Wow. I feel like for some of you, you've been actually giving somebody money and they have not thanked you for this situation the correct way. Maybe they feel guilty for having you help them instead of actually standing up and saying thank you the right way. And it could work on you. Like I've been giving and giving to you and you've just been holding back, taking money, but never really thanking me. It feels like guilt. Maybe they got themselves into a place. It is the Queen of Cups. It's not just somebody who's just, I feel like it's guilt. I think they feel guilty for having to take money for another person. It could hurt their pride, especially sitting next to the sun. Sun can be it's Leo energy, so it could be a very prideful thing. It could be a Leo as well. But it feels like it hurts their ego. It hurts their pride. Like they know that they should be standing up. But instead of doing the right thing, they end up going into their hidey hole. Because it doesn't feel like a prideful thing. It feels more like shame. If you guys are dealing with that situation, okay? That's not going to be for everyone, but if that's someone you know you're giving money to, take that. It could be, it could also be that, security matters a lot and love alone does not always just work. I need you to pick up the pace. I need you to work too. Okay. Take this how it resonates. They're going to be, I'm just throwing as many out there as possible. Going straight to the mid-month. Seven of Cups in reverse to the Three of Wands to the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Well, the stability is getting better. I like the stability. It's things, the self-worth is starting to matter. If it's, whatever the turnaround is, it's becoming better. What happened?
I'm home. That was a long day at work.
What happened?
Well, no one was there. Chris fought off.
Oh shit, hold on. Okay. Well, we can see here that this is definitely a good thing though, because this is expansion mindset in the mid-month. It's like you're waiting for these results of a decision that was already made. But I like it because without the fantasy here or any thinking that things would change in a certain direction, you can see what's real and what's not anymore. It's almost like you've chosen the direction that you want to go into. You're re-establishing yourself. And you're definitely looking ahead. You've made your intentions. But you've made your intentions clear to the Queen of Cups of what you expect from the Queen of Cups. If you guys run a business and you know this is an employee, that could be a certain situation as well. Because you're definitely, no matter what, going to have a conversation about shared money, about the way that they need to handle money. They will not be getting any more handouts. And if it's a job, you run your own business, and this is an employee you've been giving money to early, and then they're supposed to pay you back, there will be no more of that. So it's exposing the truth no matter what. And then you're saying, let's build something real. Let's change this around. But it just feels with the Page of Coins, you're being very humble and very stern about the situation. If this is the way it's going to be. If it's a love situation, you know your person needs to get out there and get a job because they're not, helping out in the household. Then this could be leading to that new job, helping them find a job, helping them with resumes to get out there to get a job. right? But just offering something tangible to help this person out, because it's becoming a problem. It's problematic, but now it's I can see what's going on, and we're going to fix this. So this is a very solid fix. Things will not be going on the way it was going on before. Going straight to the end month. Maybe you're paying somebody's car payment. Maybe that's what's going on, and they need to get a job. Take it how it resonates. Everybody's story is different. There's the imbalance again. But they're having an awakening. It almost feels like where it was imbalanced, things are making a huge turnaround. Look at that. So this is definitely the pivoting moment, guys. The money is imbalanced. It's really showing up. The effort is imbalanced. Respect is imbalanced. Something still feels a little off. But here's the shift. Here's the pivot, right? By the very end of the month, you're going to finally see that this person's going to have this wake-up call. Yes, it's slow and steady, right? This whole thing has been very slow. It's almost like they're having this wake-up call where it's like, I see what you're saying. You've been helping me out in this situation. I understand where I wasn't emotional. I understand where I was not showing my appreciation towards you. Showing where I might have been being very petty towards you, Virgo Libra, but things are going to turn around. This is not a very passive energy. This is, I am addressing this to you immediately. So something has shook them to wake them up, to make them understand that they need to do something. Because here you are in the mid-month trying to help them out, but it feels like they're moving very slow. Right? So they're starting to recognize the truth. You understand the truth. Finally, they're having the wake-up call to understand the truth. You're over here trying to help them no matter what the situation is. This is not a helping situation. Right? You can only help as much as you can. So it does feel like just before the end of the month, it's getting, it's becoming that, do they understand what I'm trying to do for them, or do they not? Well, the very end of the month, probably around the last week, we'll say, right? Probably the 27th through the 31st, is they finally get it. Over here around the 20th, you're still having issues. So it just feels like you're going to speak up, and then you could actually speak up again, speak your truth, and then it really shakes them to the core. Or maybe it just shakes them to the core without that, because maybe they're just going on the truth from the mid-month. Okay, so it's going to be a little different, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay, because now they come rushing through, making more practical plans, and having this wake-up call is exactly what they needed. And it empowers everybody. Because now it doesn't make you feel like you have to give up on something. I tried to help you. I was getting ready to give up. If you're not going to, if you're not going to take this stable offer, if you're not going to work with me, then, and get this addressed, the proper way, why are you not listening, right? But now it just feels like they're seeing it. They're finally speaking their truth. They're finally understanding what's going on. It's kind of crazy though, guys. For some reasons, I really think they already know what's going on. They're just too scared to speak their truth. They have guilt about the situation. There's just something here that just intuitively just keeps telling me they know that they're having this free ride, or, that they should be doing something, or whatever's going on over here, and they know it. It's just about getting the nerve up within themselves to speak their truth to you without feeling that guilt and shame. That's really what I do believe. Now, for some of you, you might not, You might say, no, their ego was in the way, and that's fine. But I'm telling you, the way I'm seeing it from this reading is it really looks a lot like shame, shaming themselves, not having the nerve to stand up for themselves, taking kind of what we would say the kind of the coward's way out, because they know they're in the wrong. But finally, they get, we'll say, the cojones, right? Getting the balls enough to actually say something, to actually stand their ground, having that understanding. That awakening says, I need to tell my truths. I need to stand up for myself. I need to be more appreciative and show that appreciation. So that's a great step forward in their own direction, which is going to help you out in the end. Bottom of the deck, we do have victory. So this will lead to the victory and the abundance. So if this person was just lying to themselves as the devil and keeping themselves stuck, they're finally having the wake-up call that they need. They can't hide. I just seen it. They can't hide behind the moon anymore, my friends. It's out in the open. You've already made it out in the open. You've tried to fix the situation. You did what you were supposed to do. Now it was just about, getting them to do what's right. And they finally do exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Speak their truth, come in and do what's right. Stop messing around. Man, that's a very empowering reading in actuality. You're carrying all this weight. I'm in the second house, one way or another. All the bills, all this, all that, however it is, or giving out money to them to help them without them repaying or even trying, until they finally wake up, see the light themselves. And like I said, it wasn't that they didn't know what they were doing. It was the guilt and the shame that kept them from actually coming forward to tell their truths. And that was it. Until next time, my friends. Peace and love. Bye-bye.